The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Chris Burton, who is in this morning for Alex Fisher. Anyone else kind of forgetting what day it is after the long holiday weekend? Not just me, hopefully.
No, it's taken me a few days to jumpstart.
Okay,
It might be Wednesday before I start catching up.
Okay, hopefully. Today is Tuesday, though,
Yes,
just to reiterate for
Wednesday.
anyone else who kind of forgot like I did.
Yeah. A Chicago suburb is the scene of a mass shooting during a 4th of July parade. At least 6 people are dead and dozens more hurt in the Highland Park celebration. NBC's Jay Gray has more.
A 4th of July celebration quickly shifts to chaos.
All of a sudden you hear these howitzer type noises coming, pow, pow, I mean a sound I've never heard before.
A gunman with a high-powered rifle apparently firing from the top of a nearby building at spectators lining a parade route.
You saw massive amounts of blood in the people that were gone. Their injuries were horrific.
Families rushed to escape the massacre, leaving behind rows of empty chairs. Officers moving in, locating a weapon, then later tracking down someone they call a person of interest.
The person of interest, Robert Cremo III, was spotted by a North Chicago unit. That subject did flee. A brief pursuit went on. Ultimately, they were able to get the subject stopped at Wesley and 41 in Lake Forest. The subject was taken into custody without incident.
The holiday in this Chicago suburb turning into a nightmare.
On a day that we came together to celebrate community and freedom, we're instead mourning the tragic loss of life and struggling with the terror that was brought upon us.
The latest in a string of U.S. cities this summer now dealing with overwhelming heartache and unthinkable loss. A little more now on Robert Cremo III, the person of interest in this case. Investigators looking at what they describe as a disturbing and extensive social media footprint that does include tributes to mass shootings as well as public hearings, and in graphic detail discusses murder, suicide, and death. Jay Gray, NBC News, Highland Park, Illinois.
Meantime, this cell phone video appears to show police taking Robert Cremo III into custody after a short pursuit. At the end of the chase, police said Cremo surrendered without incident. He was taken to the Highland Park Police Department for questioning. It's now reported that 38 people were wounded in that shooting and 6 killed.
And celebrations turned scary when at least 2 police officers were shot during a July 4th concert and fireworks show in Philadelphia. One officer sustained a graze wound to the head and the other a gunshot wound to the right shoulder. Luckily, both were treated and released from the hospital. The Philadelphia Police Commissioner says the motives behind the shooting are still unclear.
At this point, it's still too early to tell. We don't know if this was ricochet from celebratory gunfire. We don't know if this was intentional. We don't know if this was someone taking a shot intentionally at these officers from long range. But again, like I said, we're all just extremely grateful that this wasn't worse.
Authorities say gunfire rang out just before 10 p.m. near the Philadelphia Museum of Art.
Back here at home, and breaking news overnight, multiple people were wounded in a shooting in southeast Bakersfield. It happened last night shortly after 11 p.m. BPD says it happened near Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and East 10th Street. An investigation into the shooting is currently ongoing. We don't know exactly how many people were wounded or the extent of their injuries, nor do we have any word on arrests. We have put out a call to Bakersfield Police and are waiting for a response. We'll let you know when we learn more.
5:06 your time now. In meantime, search and rescue crew members spent their 4th of July combing the Kern River near Remington Hot Springs. First reports around 12:30 yesterday afternoon indicated a search was underway for at least one person